Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night and just having a great weekend overall. I'm back at y'all with the boxing talk, you see what I mean? On the road to 3K. We well into the 2100 mark, about to hit that mid 2100 mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, this is something that I had came across online, and as soon as I seen it, I had to come through and speak about it with y'all because on some real shit that had me real excited as a boxing fan. Pause, you see what I mean? And obviously, you know, this weekend, the biggest topic in boxing right now at this current point is Terence Crawford because he got a big fight coming up against MarkMazuma, moving up to his fourth weight division, going after the WBA Super Welterweight title, and it has a stacked undercard as well. I done spoke about it multiple times. Antonio Moran versus Andy Cruz, Rayo Venezuela, Pitbull, Jaron Miller versus Andy Ruiz. You know, David Morrell's making an appearance on the card, and there might be some fights that I didn't even mention, but nonetheless, it is absolutely stacked. You see what I mean? And it just so happens that two of the people that are fighting on Terence Crawford's undercard happen to be stablemates of Jaron Ennis. You see what I mean? I didn't really think much of this initially, because, you know, Jaron Ennis is somebody who usually stays to himself. He doesn't really go to other fights. He does go to some local fights in Philadelphia, but in terms of, like, big fights, we don't really see him there. He probably just likes to kick it at home and watch the fight on the big screen or whatever the situation is. But Eddie Hearn had confirmed that Jaron Ennis will be in attendance for the Terence Crawford fight against MarkMazuma, which makes things a lot more interesting in the possibility of them fighting each other further down the line. I seen Jaron Ennis do a little interview. You know, he was in the mix and stuff like that. I guess Eddie Hearn had told him to come over, or he just decided to come on his own and just do some self-promotion, which is a great thing when, you know, you're essentially your own promoter now, which Jaron Ennis is. You see what I mean? And he said that he was in attendance supporting his fellow stablemates, like I said, Jaron Miller, Andy Cruz, and stuff like that. And, you know, in the meantime, he might as well just be in the mix and see exactly what's going on with Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So, actually seeing Terence Crawford walk past Jaron Ennis, and I don't know exactly what Terence Crawford has said. I think he had said something along the lines of, I thought you said you wasn't going to watch, or something like that. So I guess Jaron Ennis has said that he wasn't going to watch the Terence Crawford and MarkMazuma fight in a press conference or something like that. And, you know, Terence Crawford had a little sneaky, he had a little slick remark. You see what I mean? I didn't hear Jaron Ennis reply to it at all. He probably just laughed it off or whatever. But, you know, actually seeing them, like, around each other, actually being around each other, you see what I mean? I think it just adds more intrigue to the fight. You see what I mean? Previously, Bomac had just made a comment that Terence Crawford, you know, is too experienced for Jaron Ennis, pretty much saying that Jaron Ennis isn't ready. You know what I mean? Jaron Ennis' team had, you know, refuted those claims, and they feel like they're ready and stuff like that. So, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth between the teams that hasn't really hit the media as of lately. But regardless, they also noted that, you know, Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table, but slowly but surely, this fight is starting to become one of the biggest fights that could be made in boxing right now, whether y'all want to believe it or not. You know, in my honest opinion, just me being a hardcore boxing fan and actually being in the sport, probably the biggest fight to be made right now is probably Canelo Benavidez, which most likely isn't going to happen, unfortunately. And then we got the Shakur Stevensons and Gervonta Davises of the world. You know, that's another big fight that could be made. And I think that Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis falls just beneath that in terms of demand. You feel what I'm saying? So actually seeing them in the same room, actually being around each other, actually being in, like around the same promoters, the same business people, you know, it's a dope thing to see. You know what I mean? Look, I got a new cat too. Look at this black motherfucker. We call him Blackie. I don't know if he a boy or a girl yet, but you know what I mean? He going crazy around the house, a little hyperactive motherfucker or whatever. But yeah, that's the boy Blackie. So we got the boy Garfield, we got the boy Blackie. His real name is Simba, but you know, the nation call him Garfield, you feel me? So, but anyways, as a boxing fan, it's really interesting to see them two in the same room. And I think it's a great thing for Jaron Ennis to do, because when you somebody that's on the come up, one of the best things you can do from a promotional standpoint is attach your name to the guys who are actually relevant in the sport of boxing, or happen to be some of the most popular names in the sport of boxing. You feel what I mean? So, you know, Floyd Mayweather did it when he was on the come up, kept calling out guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Prince Nassim Hamed, Shane Mosley and shit like that. And slowly but surely, he was able to manifest those fights. And that's exactly what Jaron Ennis wants to do, you know, looking into, you know, excelling in his career. You got to fight them top dudes. And, you know, sometimes you're going to have to fight these top dudes by constantly calling them out and finding ways to attach yourself to those fighters. I can give Manny Pacquiao and Top Rank a lot of credit. They did it successfully. They did it down to a science in terms of attaching their name to Floyd Mayweather, to the point where Floyd Mayweather couldn't go nowhere without facing Manny Pacquiao. He couldn't end his career without facing Manny Pacquiao. So this is something that, Jaron Ennis could definitely learn from. And I think this is a step in the right direction, especially if Jaron Ennis was to actually step in the ring and call Terence Crawford out after the fight, under the assumption that he comes out victorious against Israel Madrimov. I think that'll make the boxing world go crazy and make the fans demand the fight even more. You know what I mean? But do I think, this cat going crazy, do I think that Jaron Ennis is actually going to step in the ring and call Crawford out? I don't really see it happening. You know what I mean? Boots is a, laid back, down to earth type of individual. I don't think that he'll want to get too confrontational or anything like that. He just be like, it is what it is type shit. You know what I mean? He's there to fight, and, he'll be ready to sign the contract whenever it is, but he's not going to do the most or, even attempt to disrespect Terence Crawford. Jaron Ennis isn't that type of person from what I've observed. You see what I mean? So I highly doubt he gets in the ring. If he does, that'll be dope. You know what I mean? Kind of out of character, but it'll be dope, and it'll definitely have the boxing world turn upside down on some shit. And I think it'll help Boots out a whole lot in terms of self-promotion and actually making his name more relevant and, just stirring the pot, actually accelerating his chances of making the fight happen. You see what I mean? So y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Jaron Boots Ennis, set to be in attendance for the Terence Crawford fight. Does this give the boxing fans any more hope than there already is in terms of making this fight happen? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is MarkMazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.